Welcome to the Furry Wrestling Review. We use bad language and can be rude at times. If you are a snowflake and are triggered easily, then you might not want to listen. Enjoy.
Hello everyone, nice to see you. Apple here. Yes, it's time for wrestling reviews with me, Apple. How are you doing today? I hope you're okay. I kind of don't, but I hope you're okay anyway. So, we're not going to go through every step-by-step of the show from Raw this week. I think it would make for better time if I just go through some of the highlights and some of the things I like, some of the things others like. And we'll go from there. So, of course, it opened up with the this week we're going into the week 2 of, or the first week of the Superstar Shake-Up, named by Vince McMahon. Of course, he came out the other week, and looking very old he is. And so we saw our first transition of the Superstar Shake-Up, and that was John Cena's music opening up Raw. Everybody thought it was going to be John Cena, so everybody's getting ready to do John Cena sucks, John Cena sucks. Nope, it was The Miz and Maurice doing their sketch of John Cena, the robot. I am John Cena. Rule 342 says you cannot walk in my house with white shoes. And Maurice was playing Nikki Bella. Now, if you remember a few weeks ago, Maurice cut a scathing promo on Nikki Bella that was just awesome because you could tell that there was some real heat there. Real heat. So he ended up coming out for making a better promo anyway. So Miz and Maurice are out there, and then, of course, somebody has to interrupt, like usual, and it ended up being Dean Ambrose, who is number 2 on the transitions from the Superstar Shake-Up. He comes out, interrupts him, goes along with kayfabe for a few minutes and pretending that he's John, and eventually hits him with a dirty D. So, let's see. So we have the New Day comes out, and they challenged last week. If you remember last week, they challenged anybody to come out for an open challenge, and it ended up being the Revival. And it's our third transition. Actually, that's from them from NXT, moving on up. And Revival is pretty good because they remind me of some of them old school type wrestlers that were all like, you know, no flippity floppity, flying off the top rope, all just bare knuckles, and a lot of power moves and a lot of some dirty tricks maybe, but that's the old school style, and they play it well, and they look the part too. So the Revival came out again, and like last week, beat the crap out of them. Last week, actually, they took out Kofi Kingston. I think Kofi might have had an injury before that or something, but they had to play it off. And so Kofi Kingston wasn't there, so it was just Big E and Xavier Woods. And at the end of the match, it was one of it was brutal. It was hard to watch. It was the Shatter Machine. But what happened was when Xavier came off the top rope into the Shatter Machine, he bounced and was like straight up on his head onto the mat. And it was really slow motion, and it looked like it could have done some serious damage. But I guess, thankfully, he's okay. So, he had a good God looking out for him on that one. So, let's see, where are we back at? We got the interview with Andrew, with Aries, who won the Fatal 4-Way. He's going to face Neville now for the title again. TJ Perkins turns heel. Ooh, wah, la, wah, wee. Hey. Kurt Hawkins gets the jobber intro. And says it's time for everybody to face the facts. Big Show comes out and gives him a knockout, bro. See ya, my Kurt Hawkins. Hawkins fears Grim, by the way. You're welcome, Grim. You like it? Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to the show. It sounds actually like they were muting the crowd most of the night. Kevin Dunn's fingers must have been really hurting at the end of that show, because I had a friend that was there and he was telling me that they were really loud and stuff like that, but that didn't come over to TV. So they were obviously doing some muting there, especially when the Braun and Roman section, which I'll get to in a little bit. So, it says Rollins is walking in. He comes in and then hits Enzo, and Cass comes in, and Rollins comes out for his promo. It cuts a pretty good promo. He's full face now, and it's obvious. You can tell. And he makes a better face anyways. He was horrible as a heel, like, God! Next up, KO shows up. He cuts a promo, looking in a suit. He's all shaved, doesn't have a beard. He's looking a little bit more sophisticated, and he is ready to stay on Raw. But who knows what's going to happen the next night on SmackDown. We'll get to that eventually. He cuts a promo, and then we get right into a great match between the Queen, Charlotte Flair, who personally is hot, and Nia Jax. Now, Nia Jax, they're trying to buck her as a monster, but she's not very monstrous. They're trying to make her pretty, too. They buck her as a monster, make her pretty, and have music that doesn't fit a monster. And then they put her in them, I guess you could say, spacesuit things that look like vinyl, shiny leather, kind of really tacky and gross, and doesn't really flatter her much at all. Like, at least with Awesome Kong and women like that, like Awesome Kong used to wear gladiator gear, because she was a big beast that was like a gladiator, destroying everybody. Now, if they're going to play Nia Jax as that same kind of character, then they got to make her look better than making her wear a moon suit. Crazy. Horrible. And so the match is pretty good. Charlotte can make anybody look good. She is absolutely the best women's wrestler they have on the roster. Of course, that comes in her genes, too. So we knew that was going to be something of the future of women's wrestling is Charlotte Flair. You got to admit it. She is one of the best. She actually is the best, I think. Of course, they let Nia Jax get over because the thought is that Charlotte is going to be moving to SmackDown, which she did, and I'll just talk about that when we do the SmackDown review. And so there. So, what's up next? We have a Finn Balor package. Finn Balor's back. He showed up last week. And so they do the whole thing that they did before he first showed up. And so we end up getting a Miz Sami Zayn match. Zayn's end up winning, even though Miz tries multiple times to cheat. And then we get to the thing of the night, I would say. We end up going to Michael Cole. Michael Cole was backstage, getting ready to interview Roman Reigns. Blah, 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 Roman Reigns playing semi, kind of cleaner heel, but the company wants him to be a face. And all of a sudden, the best part of the night, in comes Braun Strowman, and thoroughly destroys Roman Reigns. We love it. Everybody loves it. The crowd is chanting, "Thank you, Strowman." The muting is going on by Kevin Dunn. Mute, 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 mute. Do not let them hear the chants on the TV. They put Roman Reigns on a stretcher after they tie him, and they tie him down. Strowman shows up again. I ain't doing you. Beats him up again. Throws him off the stretcher, off the platform, down to the cement. Takes off. They all pick him up out of the stretcher, put him into the ambulance. Roman comes up again out of nowhere, like Randy Orton's RKO. And I'm going to take you out. You are not getting away from me. Roman beats Roman down again in the ambulance. Goes outside. And because this guy is a huge monster, tips the ambulance over. Tips it over. Massive amounts of strength. Tips over the ambulance. Huge crowd pop. So loud, it was hard for them to mute it and keep it out. People screaming, "Thank you, Strowman." Crowd going nuts. Oh, that guy's a beast. But in the best way. Because we love Braun Strowman and we hate Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is horrible. Turn him heel. Turn him heel. Vince McMahon, turn him heel. Of course, let's see. So we get into the next match. Next match is an 8-man tag team match. 4 teams, actually. Gallows and Anderson and the Shining Stars versus Cesaro and Sheamus and the Hardy Boys, who cannot use their broken gimmick yet, but he's still doing a delete, 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 delete. Yay! We love the Hardys. Everybody loves Hardys. Huge pop. Huge pop, and hopefully they will win the lawsuit because they did create it. And then hopefully we'll get the Broken Universe into WWE. And it'll be wonderful! Wonderful! Yes! So, yeah, the match goes good. Pinned by the Hardys, of course. Got to make them look good and strong. They are the tag team champions after all. And their surprise entrance at WrestleMania was just incredible. 70-something thousand people jumping their feet screaming was awesome. Awesome! During this match, which is kind of weird, the Drifter shows up. The Drifter from NXT, who, for no rhyme or reason, just shows up, walks by the announcer's table, walks in the crowd, and then leaves. Who knows what's going to happen there? We'll see what his storyline is going to be eventually. Maybe, if they come up with something. It's hard for them to come up with anything these days. Makes you depressed sometimes. So, Dana Brooke, you remember Dana Brooke, the protege of Charlotte, who was released and is now trying to turn face, is in the back reading a book called How to Be Your Own Protege. Fitting for her. Emma comes out. Emma, yes, Emma. Evil Emma, because that's the best kind of Emma there is. That stupid dancing Emma that was before was horrible. Then they did that whole Emmalina thing, which was 16 weeks of ridiculousness. And then they dropped it the first night they brought her in to come back to Emma. So, but Emma, as Evil Emma, is awesome. She's a great wrestler. She knows how to sell. She knows how to make people look good. And she's a bitch. And that's what has to be perfect for a heel. Be a bitch. But be able to back it up, too. You know? Talk the talk. Walk the walk. Yeah. We get into a little bit of Bayley. Going for the commercial. You know, Bayley. Hug Bayley. Come out of the commercial, and then Bayley is getting introduced by the boss, who's out in the ring, Sasha Banks. Blah, blah, blah. Alexa Bliss shows up. Yay! Alexa Bliss from SmackDown. Change over from SmackDown to Raw. Says, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be my title now. I'm going to take that title. Then, of course, Mickie James is there. Hey, falling her over. Kind of reminds me of the, they got the little heat exchange going on there between Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, just like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn do. And that's on SmackDown, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So, we get the whole kind of back and forth with the women talking about who's going to be the champion, blah, 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 blah. Nia Jax comes out and destroys everyone. That's what her job is. She is to destroy everyone. Because she is a monster in a moon suit. Moon suit. And moon suit. And we go to commercial. Commercial. That's one of the things I hate about Raw. So many damn commercials. It's like commercial, commercial, commercial. I saw somebody take a poll thing once of how much time was actually spent wrestling in the 3-hour show that they have on Raw. And the average is 42 minutes. The rest is full of commercials, replays, and having to listen to idiot Michael Cole, who needs to retire and get off of the mic. He's horrible. Everything cannot be a shooting star press, or a Blue Thunder Bomb, or a Michinoku Driver. There are other moves, Michael Cole. You stink. Finally, we get to the main event. Main event is Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. Dean Ambrose, of course, is the Intercontinental Champion, moved over from SmackDown. Kevin Owens is, of course, the United States Champion that he won from Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. And I'm not sure if that was a good plan to do that, but it worked because they did let him get burnt out from the World Championship or the Universal Championship against the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. Woo. So the main event is Ambrose versus Owens. A lot of great moves. A lot of great moves we've never seen before out of either one of them. So they actually worked this match really, really well. And of course, for the interference, it has to be. The rivalry still going between Jericho and KO. So Jericho comes out, boom, causes him the match. Dean Ambrose wins, and we get to the end of the show. They should have had Jericho come on and beat the crap out of him, but oh well, didn't happen. And so with that is that. That was Raw. It was a okay show. I would give it probably a 6 out of 10 compared to most Raws, which are usually like a 2 or a 3 out of 10. Because lately it's just been horrible. 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 And that being said, I will see you on the next video. My name is John Cena, and I am a robot. Goodbye.